on the island. So today I want to talk about getting great position on entries or exits of trades. And what I'm going to demonstrate actually is getting position on a specific options trade that we took in the asymmetric options service on 3M. Now, I'm not going to go into all the particulars on why we took this trade. That is part of the service. If you would like to learn more, go down below, click asymmetric.com/options and join us. And you'll see why we're running on a rate of about 98% winners with incredible return on capital. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer to a chart here. Hold on. I'm only working with one screen today, so moving back and forth is a little bit of a challenge. And let's see. Charts. No, that doesn't do it. Hold on. I think. Well, that show it. No, that doesn't show it. I think I have to create a new one. Wow. So I'm using OBS, and I had this set up for my my other system. All right, so right display. Okay, I just have to change that. I have to remove that. I know it's black right now, so just give me a display capture. Okay. Perfect. All right, so we should be able to see the display now, except that it's way too big. Gotta make it smaller. See, this is what happens when you're on vacation. There we go. What I should have done is set it for a specific app, but I'm going to be switching between apps. All right. So that should do. Cool. All right, so here's 3M, and we decided that there was a great call credit spread or a bearish credit spread on 3M right at this point. And, it's kind of obvious why that may be true. And so I came up with this particular credit spread, expiring on 18th of September. A 167.5 strike we sold and bought back a 170 call, right? So that gave us the spread with this kind of profit and loss zone. And as long as we stay in the green by expiration, we'll be profitable. Now, we may or may not stay in the green, depends on how much profit we get out of this. If we get to max profit before the end of that, I'll certainly take it, or anything close to it, maybe even 50% of it. So anyways, what I use to determine how to get into a trade is the linear regression slope, and that's what we have down below here. And I'm using something that's available on TradingView. And on Thinkorswim, you can use the TM squeeze, which will also give you this exact same chart. Now, what the linear regression slope does is it really looks at all the data, all the buys and sells over a period of time, and then evaluates, their direction. And each one of these bars, the green and red bars, indicates the direction and the magnitude of that direction. And so you can see we have the green bars, which represent more of an up direction in their magnitude. And then they go from light green to dark green. When they turn to dark green, that means that the linear regression slope has turned a corner. It is now pointing the other direction. And so that is what I use as my indicator. Now, so if I were to get into this trade and take this short or sell this credit spread, what I would do is I would wait for 2 dark bars. Right? I want to print that first dark bar. I want to see that second dark bar. And then that's when I would consider taking the trade. Now, this is on a daily chart, right? Now, this works equally well on a 4-hour or a 2-hour, but as you go down to a 4-hour or 2-hour, you're losing some time value. Not in terms of options, but you're not taking in as much information. And so the higher the time frame on your bars, the greater the potential for that choice is. So here I'm using the daily. I could use 4-hour as well. Now we're going to get a much more finer resolution on the linear regression. All right. So on this one here, I might say, well, this is where I may have originally taken the trade, right about here, if this were the 4-hour bar. And you can see with the 4-hour bar, I would have been somewhat right for a little bit, and then it would have retracted a bit, and but now it's going in the other direction. So I don't have the same kind of confidence from a longer-term perspective. However, this would also, if you're a shorter-term time frame, a 4-hour chart would probably give you this, but you're going to be looking for a smaller return. All right, so it came down and made some profit, and you would have been okay. But on the from our point of view, the longer the time frame, the greater your chances are, if all those indicators are going your way, of profiting. And that's really, that goes back to day trading. This is one of the reasons why day trading is such a really poor way of trading, because the amount of noise and variability in the market happens so quickly that it's very, very difficult to to get any kind of surety in your trade. So that's one of the reasons why day traders have a hard time, because of that quick nature of the market and the noise that's in that market, a lot of false signals. It's one of the reasons why they fail so often, and then their emotions get in the way, etc. The longer the time frame, the much higher degree of confidence that you will have in the choices that you make. It'll give you more time to react, and there's much greater surety in the direction if you're going to be using technical indicators. Now, of course, we're using a completely different set of criteria here to determine whether or not we're getting into this trade. However, when I make that entry or that exit, I come down to that linear regression slope to make that final decision on the timing of getting into that trade. So this would be a good time from a day trade from a day chart perspective, just to get into this trade and take a short position or a bearish position with a credit spread. So if I were to bring up another look of this, let's bring up Tastyworks, and we can see what this trade would look like. All right, so here's Tastyworks. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Tastyworks has a really great way of visualizing this trade. Now, we can see here this is the profit loss diagram for this options trade, and we're sitting right about here over to the left. And according to this, a probability of profit is 65%. That is, if we go all the way to expiration, there's about a 65% chance that we will be profitable. The P50, or achieving 50% of our profit, is 73%. It's not a huge difference here. Now, there are some other ways that we can improve this over the pure statistical analysis, and that's part of what our service is about. And so from our point of view, we believe that this trade is actually closer to 80-85%. And that is to achieve the P50. So it's a little bit better than what they're saying here, 73. But from our analysis, we believe that it's probably closer to 80-85. Now, that's taking this trade today. If this were sitting over here somewhere around 160, then of course the odds would be much better. We hardly ever take a trade going all the way into expiration or take profit or close a trade. So anyways, there's the options view of that. I'll bring back the big head. There we go. So linear regression slope is a statistical measure using least squares method of determining the both the direction and magnitude of the data set that you're looking at. And it's a fantastic tool to use for your trading, to use for entries and exits, trying to get optimal position, whatever time frame that you're using. So again, what I do is I wait for the light is sort of giving me the signal. I'm there, and then when I go to dark, that means it's starting to turn in my direction. And generally, that's what we're looking to do. We're not looking to try to pick a top or a bottom. We wanted to say, okay, this is the support or resistance line that we're looking at, and then hit it, and then start moving in our direction. Once I've gotten 2 dark bars on that linear regression slope, that's enough evidence for me that it's starting to move in that direction, and it improves the probability of it continuing to move in that direction by a tremendous amount. And you can go back and check all the linear regression slopes when it moves from light to dark, and then do that analysis on your own and just see, that the odds of it continuing to move there in that time frame are really, really high. And in my estimation, probably closer to 85%. So that's how I've chosen this to get into this trade now, because I feel like everything is stacking up in my direction. All right. That's about all I've got to say. Let's find how to get out of this. Go back. There we go. And hopefully you learned something. If you're interested in our option service, like I said, we're working on about a 98% win rate with a return on capital that is fantastic. Just in the past month and a half, we've already achieved more than 20% return on our total trading capital. Now, I don't expect to get that kind of return every time. I would really be, that comes out to 10% per month. I'm more trying to get that sweet spot, which I believe is somewhere between 5 and 7% per month, and I think that is achievable for relatively small accounts. That's a dog dreaming, I think. So anyways, that's what we're all about. If you're interested, go down below, sign up. We'd love to have you. We've got really a growing community here. And I think you'll be very happy. Anyways, that's it. Take care. See you next video. Got to go to the beach.